What's up? Hey, folks, it's Steve Holmes. How's it going? We're streaming live November 10th, 2024, 2:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the now. Whew. You know what's funny is it's been a couple of weeks since I've streamed. Oops, we're still switching cameras. Let's not do that anymore. Hi back there. It's been a minute. It's been a couple of weeks since we streamed, and so I had to get my bearings, setting everything up, and I don't even know if this mix was. I mean, I hope it was decent, and so I pull the trigger and I play for 20 minutes, and I notice there's no one in the chatter, and I didn't activate all the channels, and so I was streaming for no one for 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh man, should I start over? And I was good and warmed up at that point, so I'm like, yes, let's do it, right? It's about doing it. It's about pulling the trigger. It's about going live. It's about taking the chance. It's about making music. It's good for us. It's healthy. Shouldn't wait so long to do this. Anyway, what's going on? My name is Steve Holmes. We're streaming live. What are folks saying? What are folks saying in the chat today? We are streaming to YouTube. We're streaming to Twitch. We're streaming to Kick, I think. Do we have chat in here? Let's see. Oh, yeah, we've got Ryan Cox on YouTube. Says Steve's back. What's up, Ryan Cox? How are you? Good to see you. Ryan's been following the stream for a while. He's been following the channel. And like I said, Andy said it's been too long on YouTube. We got John Rogers on Facebook says, sounds great, Steve. Thank you. Drums Danko on YouTube says, nice tune. Yes, the link to the music that I'm playing to should be, it should be in the description. So if folks are wondering, it's a cool channel. It's this YouTube channel that's synth wave chill. Will Evertson on Facebook. What's up, Will? Ooh, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. John Rogers, Ryan Cox says, looks like Steve's focused less on chops today and more on showing us that tasteful playing is a powerful lesson. You know, it's the music, man. The music tells me what to play. The music tells you what to play. That's just how it works, you know. I've mentioned before, there's a Branford Marsalis documentary, and that's what it's called. The music tells you. It's great. It's got Jeff Tain Watts on it, Robert Hurst. Oh man, I forget who's playing. Is it Kenny? It's Kenny, I think. Kenny Kirkland. Anyways, if you haven't seen that documentary, the whole thing's probably on YouTube. It's called The Music Tells You, and the interviewer is asking Branford about playing jazz, and that's kind of the summarizing statement that he comes up with that I guess they liked enough to name the documentary after it. So The Music Tells You. So, I mean, towards the end there, it's I get a little more busy, but and there's no click, and I've never heard these tunes before, just to put things in context. I'm just listening and playing. And trying to, kind of, respect the groove that's been programmed, but while not playing it trying to add some contrast to it, if it does this thing one bar, I'll try to echo it the next bar and, experiment with different things and maybe add, a human element of kind of a jazzy elastic kind of thing that's still on the grid, hopefully, so it's not completely machine-like the whole time, because that's what I bring. I'm not a machine by any means. Whatever I am, I'm rusty today. It's been a while. So Sam Nobers on drums says love it, Steve. He's on YouTube. Thank you, Sam. Adam Wilson, tasty stuff. Ryan Cox says a masterclass in tasteful playing. Thank you, Ryan. Let's see. Kima says great. Adam Wilson, is that a 14-inch floor tom? No, this is a 16-inch Yamaha PHX drum. 16, 10, 12, and then this is a 14-inch titanium Dunnet snare drum, and then a 22-inch kick bass drum. So the drums are Yamaha Phoenix. The snare is a Dunnet. Cymbals are Zildjian, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I love this stuff, you know. Um, I've been using, you know, Zildjian since junior high school. And I'm lucky enough to have some kind of relationship with them. Although every time I reach out to them, I expect them to be like, what? We've never heard of you. Click, ooh. Let's see. Carolyn says, tuning in from Japan sounds great. Adam says, there's so much more to drumming than chops. It's all about you say and how you say it. Steve is a master. Thank you very much. I wanted to play to some music today because there's just too much. You know, I just improvise on the drums too much, and it's really about playing music. So maybe I will improvise a little later. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a pretty good workout, so I don't know when we're going to end it. Drummer on YouTube says an epic masterclass. Thank you. Let's see. I like hearing the drummers using the chops to say something interesting other than a bunch of notes. I agree. I'm all about kind of like trying to make a statement. You know, I'm a big fan of singing. You know, this stuff. Like if I can't sing it, I kind of don't want to play it for the most part. You know, like my thing is all about like the accents are making a statement. You know, like there's little notes in between those big notes, but by and large, the accents are the phrase, and I like to be able to sing the phrase, and that's why I like some drummers when they turn on like really fast singles or 30-second notes, and there's no accents. It's literally just fast notes, like I don't like how that sounds. I mean, me personally. I mean, I find it impressive, in the same way that I find lifting something very heavy impressive. But man, you get back here, there's an opportunity to make music, and that's kind of the thing that I try to do. I don't succeed all the time, and sure, I like playing fast, and I'm a drummer, and I like speed, and blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Christian Lay says, please give us some shuffle playing. Cheers, folks. Some shuffle playing. Well, let me, before I do that, let me just say that those of you that are maybe on YouTube, please click on my channel. Please click subscribe and check out the backlog of material. I've been doing this for a while, and almost every stream I've ever done is on the Steve Holmes Drum Lessons playlist. And I mention that because if you search my channel for shuffles, you're gonna find several examples of me playing shuffles. Actually, on the last stream, we went over this kind of shuffle challenge that was playing the second and third triplet with the bass drum against like a halftime shuffle, or against a regular shuffle. It was like boots, 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 and I found that when I was doing that, I was just kind of playing the quarter note with my hi-hat, and it was challenging to keep the hands actually shuffling, like to and have the foot go boots, boots, because there's a lot of notes like stacking on top of each other there. And so that was challenging. So I encourage folks to check that out on the last stream. I want to put together a page that kind of summarizes all the chapters and all the streams and make it like easily clickable. So, you know, you just click the thing and then the chapter plays, but you know, I don't know enough about web programming to do that. And I have a couple of friends that may help me with that. So we'll see. Let's see. Drummers and musicians, you have to play musically. Dynamics is so important. Oh yeah, dynamics is a huge part of it. Agreed. So I mean, for shuffles, there's like 3-ish basic shuffles. You know, the traditional shuffle, which is kind of 4 on the floor, right? Quarter notes on the bass drum. So let's do that really quick. There's more of like a rock shuffle, which is kind of the same kind of feel, but the bass drum is kind of more free to play, you know, boost, ba-das, ba-boost, ba-das, ba-boost, ba-da, you know, that kind of thing instead of 4 on the floor. So it's kind of like regular time rock shuffle. like, the Rosanna Shuffle, the Bernard Purdie Shuffle, that kind of thing, which is very similar to the traditional rock shuffle. It's just, the backbeat's in a different place. It's probably played a lot slower, but the ghost notes are still kind of in the same spot in that kind of middle triplet there. So I guess I could demonstrate that. I feel like it's just been played to death. Adam Wilson says, what kind of ride cymbal is that? This is the... Sorry, I just realized that the the microphone wasn't on. We did the traditional shuffle and then like a rock shuffle with like a busier foot, and then the halftime shuffle, also known as the Bernard Purdie Shuffle, Jeff Porcaro Shuffle, Rosanna, whatever you want to call it. It's got a lot of names. Someone asked about this ride cymbal. This is a 20-inch K custom dry light. My favorite ride cymbal ever. Great for every style. If you can play every style. I mean, if you know how to make it talk, if you know how to like, bring out the magic of this thing. I mean, it's really a beautiful cymbal. So 20-inch K, K custom dry light. Okay, so halftime shuffle. Let's do that just real quick because I feel like it's been played to death. But whatever, folks are asking, so let's deliver. Okay, so at the beginning I tried to spell out, they're kind of the key to playing that kind of thing, and it's interesting because the playing the ghost note on the middle triplet, I also did on like kind of the up-tempo rock shuffle too, but that's kind of the key to the halftime shuffle. So the right hand is just playing kind of the first and third triplet. It's kind of shuffling, the left hand's doing that middle triplet, and so I started out like just doing that. Like if you're working on this, like just do that and just like play the quarter note with the bass. Like don't try to do the whole thing, And then I remember when I was playing this at Musicians Institute when I went there in 93, 94, I thought I was hot shit and I'm sitting in the room playing that. And then this great teacher named Bobby Gabriel came in and he was like, hey, have you played like quarter note triplets on the foot with that? And I'm like, oh yeah, of course. And I tried to do it. I couldn't do it. So quarter note triplets are kind of interesting with that because one of the notes stacks with the ghost note. And so that is kind of fun to do. Let's show that. Yeah. But boom, 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 bot. Right? So quarter note triplets. It's good to just get independence, when you're working on that stuff. Just be able to do whatever with the foot and just have the hat and the snare just continue to do its thing, man. Just kind of, it's important to sound relaxed when you play this stuff. I want the groove to sound relaxed. The groove's not going to sound relaxed unless I'm relaxed. I'm not going to sound relaxed unless I've practiced it enough to be relaxed. So that's kind of the key, I've said a lot that you can kind of tell like what percentage of effort it takes someone to play. Like, oh, that sounds like they're at like 80%, 90%, And so you can't relax if you're at like 80% trying to like just barely do, like you want to be able to relax. The only way to relax is just, it's got to be second nature. And the only way to get it second nature is by practicing a lot, at different tempos, at different dynamics, So let's see. Can we do the web chat? Oh, look, hey. Got the web chat working finally. I had to wait for enough chat to populate before I could show it. There's Will. Will at the top. Will, good to see you on Facebook. Will Everton, longtime House of Drumming forum member. House of Drumming, my drumming website. If folks haven't seen House of Drumming, there's a Discord chat, and then there's a regular forum website, houseofdrumming.com. It's kind of old school, but we welcome everyone. It's a good place to hang out and talk about drums, and Will's been on there for a long time. I've met Will several times. He's a great drummer. Will's got a funny video of me wanking at Guitar Center at one point, and like the drums are falling apart and stuff. It's pretty funny. Let's see. Christian said, give us some shuffle playing. Okay, we're past that. We did that not to talk about some chops drummers, but sometimes I listen to someone just throwing a bunch of notes and it just end up getting bored. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Tell you, we talked about my ride cymbal, and there's people being like, hey, dude, you're muted. It's because I still don't know how to turn microphones on and off, apparently. Let's see. Yeah, Rosanna, very nice. And the left out the part that had in-depth drumming that was so much more gospel chops. Okay, you guys are still talking about like speed and chops and stuff. That's a Led Zeppelin song, says Brandon. Yes, Full in the Rain is another great example of the halftime shuffle. Right? And I believe Jeff actually cites that as the inspiration for the Rosanna Shuffle. So let's see. Chicago Musician says, what's your approach to sticking? Alternate rudimental, right hand lead, either hand on accents. That's kind of an ambiguous question. Peter Davis says Steve Holmes, one of the greatest, and if you can find it, I highly recommend his DVD. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I put out a DVD a long time ago called Shed Some Light. It's kind of when the internet was in its infancy. And you can get it on Amazon and stuff. But to be honest, like everything on my YouTube channel is like, it's like 10 times. 10 times the content. Chicago Musicians talking about like approach to sticking. I mean, I guess I would need some more context there. Alternate rudimental, right hand, left hand on accents. I mean, the phrase dictates the sticking. Like what you're playing, that dictates the sticking. But having said that, like some subdivisions are more inclined to have a certain kind of sticking. Like say 16-note triplets, where it's like 6 notes per quarter note. Obviously, the common stickings in that is going to be different than like common stickings if you're playing like 32nd notes, which I tend to be like more paradiddle oriented. Like when it's time to play 32nd notes, I'm just like paradiddle, paradiddle, like it doesn't sound like that because of like how I'm orchestrating it, but that's kind of what I'm doing. That's one of Virgil's big things too. Virgil Donati's just got like maybe the just ridiculous hands. But yeah, in terms of sticking, like I mean, I want to work on all the stuff, and I want freedom. That's the thing. I want freedom to play what's in my head, and so I don't want independence or an inability to do a particular sticking to stop me from playing what I want. And so I try to, develop that freedom by being able to play like all the different combinations. I mean, there's only so many. And especially if you do the thing that I'm talking about where it's like, well, I rely on accents. Chances are, if a phrase is very fast, the accents are still a simple phrase. Right? Right? Very simple phrase. But if you fill it with a bunch of notes, it could sound like this. Right, there's a lot of notes there, but I'm thinking like bat 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 do go bat. But I've worked on the sticking of 16-note triplets. That's what that subdivision is, up until the toms, and then it's 16 notes, right? But buzz, right? So the accents are a simple phrase. They're kind of like swung eighth notes, and we're talking about Ted Reed like level of phrasing. It's not complex, you know. Let's see. Adam Wilson says, I find it very awkward to crash with my left hand when I play traditional. How did you overcome that? I mean, just focusing on it, you know, just tons of playing, just tons of, just repetition, and if I find that something feels awkward, I'll just attack it. I won't play normally and notice that it feels awkward. I'll just play the awkward thing over and over. Just play the awkward thing over and over. Like this, like today when I started warming up, like I was pretty rusty. And so I wanted to work on, left hand going from like cymbal to snare and cymbal to snare. And so I was like, well, with the right hand, if you play like a flam paradiddle, right? Like flam, a paradiddle with a flam at the top. It's a common method for doing the thing where it sounds like you're playing 16 notes, but because the first one is a flam, like you do like cymbal and snare together, and so it's like like flam, right, left, right? That's a flam, right-handed flam paradiddle, right? So instead of paradiddle would be right, left, right? So it's not that. It's like flam, flam right, left, flam right, left, right? So that's a flam paradiddle, and so that's a pretty common thing, and it keeps the right hand going from like cymbal to snare to cymbal to snare or whatever, right? And so I was like, well, if I do that with my left hand, then my left hand's got to do that work. My left hand's got to go like from cymbal to snare, like right away, and I can't do it very well. Like I'll show you, I'm not good at it, but we're talking about like getting comfortable, like with traditional grip, hitting things with like your left hand. Like I'll do the right-handed version and then I'll show you the left-handed version. And again, like I'm not going to be good at this, but I'll show you anyway, right? Just for educational purposes. Also I was having fun earlier with just doing groups of 3 notes, literally groups of 3 notes. And the first 2 notes are one hand, right? So it's like right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. I was having fun with that, actually kind of coming up with musical phrases and doing the same thing, like left, right, left, right. And so the double left forces you to go from like cymbal to snare. That's how I was doing it. I was like cymbal, snare, right, cymbal, snare, right, and I've got a bunch of cymbals on my left, and so I'll go back and forth. It'd be like double right followed by a left, double left followed by a right, and it sounds a lot better when I do it with my right hand. Actually, I came up with some cool stuff, but it doesn't sound anywhere near as cool with what I do with my left. But it will help with what the question was, which is like getting that awkward feeling of going from cymbal to snare, like with traditional grip. It is awkward, but you just got to attack it, right? So here's that. So yeah, like I said, it sounds horrible when I do it with my left hand. Something else that I really found helps. Two things actually. Like you're just playing like a basic groove, right? And you just hit one with the left. Just do it over and over on different things, on the hi hat, on your crash cymbal, whatever you got, right? Just hit one with your left hand. Get used to like how that feels. Experiment with different like hi hat phrases with your left hand, like all while keeping the groove going on the right hand. Like just literally improvise with your left hand. Kind of like whatever your bass drum is doing, like I'll double that with a cymbal. Like instead of the boom boom ga, I'll be like psh psh ga, right? It's a very common thing. Well, actually, it's not very common, but it's super cool. Folks don't do it enough, right? This is a Vinny thing. Vinny does this a lot. A lot of guys do this. Wow, that fill at the end was horrible. Sorry about that. Another thing that helps with getting like the left hand moving around is, and again, like a common phrase played right-handed, just do it left-handed, and it'll give you a workout, right? So like, whatever Swiss flams, whatever, like flam right left, very common, right? So what about flam left right? You know, there was a phrase that I heard guys do that was like glashta 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 kind of thing. It was not really blush. There was no doubles. It was like flam, hi-hat, and then accent on the snare, right? It was like blah, ch, da, blah. And so once I figured out kind of how to do that, I noticed that was super awkward. And so sometimes I'll spend time doing that just to kind of get the rust off the left hand. Again, left hand motion around the kit. This is what we're talking about. Super common. Do it with the left hand. So, sorry, I don't even know if we're still live. I mean, my preview is like frozen here. I'm just going to assume we're still going. So the topic was like left hand, moving it around the kit. And so those were just a couple of things that that I work on. And you can see like, it's still pretty awkward. Like it's challenging, it's challenging to get the left hand move. It's probably one of the advantages to match grip for sure is like just, it's the same motion, like going from this to this to this to this, so again, strengths and weaknesses, I'm a big advocate of that. Let's see, can we still do the chat? Boom. Is this still accurate? I think so. I don't even know. I don't even know if yeah, I guess we're still live, eh? Yeah, looks like we're still live. Okay, cool. What else are folks saying? Hey, Steve, is there any young drummers coming up that you're impressed by? Band drummers, independent, online teachers, etc. Says Peter Davis. Yeah, my favorite guy right now is probably Jay Scott, drummer. I think his name is John Scott. I'm not sure. He goes by Jay Scott. I follow him on Instagram, and every single time I watch one of his videos, man, I'm just like, oh, it just flows like butter, man. It's just that guy has got such great facilities, got super cool phrasing. He's taken the kind of Weckl DiCenzo flowing thing to like another level, you know, or at least the same level. I mean, you know, I've always been intrigued by the flowing triplety phrasing, and I still think kind of DiCenzo's the king of that, really. But Jay Scott, drummer, he the way he does that stuff, I just love, man. He's got great command of the instrument. He's got tons of footage on different like setups. He'll have like a bunch of toms, and then he'll have no toms, big cymbals, small cymbals, like high pitch snare, like low pitch. It's like all kinds of stuff, and he just sounds great. Sounds grown on everything. So Jay Scott, drummer. I love Moritz Mueller. If you guys aren't hip to Moritz, check him out. There's a ton of stuff. Moritz has been like, he doesn't get the recognition I don't think that he deserves. And I believe he's German, but man, for a long time he's been like playing all this stuff, and check him out if you haven't. Moritz Mueller. So those are two guys I really like. There's another guy on YouTube, kind of young guy, kind of from the gospel thing, but not really. I don't even know if it qualifies anymore. But anyway, his name is Xavier. I don't know his last name. I'm sorry. And it's interesting because his channel, it's him like playing with his bedroom. Like he's got this do-it-yourself like it's not high quality recording or gear, and he plays like triple A, ridiculous level. You know, really, really impressive. I forget his last name. I'm so sorry. If you search like Xavier drumming on, you're probably gonna find it because he's just so amazing. He's probably got tons of followers by now. So those are three guys. There's that that Samba guy, the Pearl. He's a Pearl artist. He's doing all kinds of clinics right now. He's kind of launching right now, doing a big clinic tour. Isaac Jamba or something. I forget his name. I'm getting old. I'm forgetting all the names. He's a Brazilian jazz artist. He plays his 4-piece kit. He's got a beautiful touch, beautiful feel. I want to say his name's Isaac Jamba. I'm not sure. He's great. So there's 4 guys, right? It's important to keep up, man. It's important to see what's out there, because I know, you know, guys of my generation, Generation X and whatever, we tend to like, you know, listen to the same stuff we listen to in high. And I I listen to a lot of old music, but I definitely try to keep up with what's going on because I love the art form and I want to see like what direction it's getting pushed, like what are guys doing with it and that kind of thing. It's super interesting. Let's see. Kick sounds good. Thank you. Floyd says, Steve, what have you ever incorporated electronics with your kit? What are your thoughts? No. Cheers. No. I don't have any interest in electronics incorporating it into my kit above and beyond like recording and mixing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if I had an unlimited budget and unlimited time, I would experiment with stuff, with samples and triggering different samples and that kind of thing. But above and beyond that, not really. Let's see. Letcher Funkus on Facebook says, saw you were live and wanted to say hi. Thank you, Letcher, for stopping and saying hi. Hello back. Normalized Audio says, so clean. Thank you. Great playing from Floyd. Justin Scott. Yeah. Other people are recognizing his name. This is a nice drum book mix. Says Normalized Audio. Thank you. Every stream I spend time like kind of redoing levels and trying to get stuff sounding good. And it's, after a while, I'm just like, I just want to play. You can spend all day tweaking levels and trying, like the drum sound in here, like the EQ and compression, like it needs a lot of work, especially on the toms and the snare. And it's like, I just want a big heavy kick, a snappy snare. I want the toms to be clear and resonant. I'm going to change these heads. I really like how the 10 sounds with the coated and bass. So I think I'm going to put coated back on my 12 and 16. So really, really digging that. So, all right. I think we can call it, right? We've been doing it for a while, and I'm starting to get hungry. So I appreciate folks hanging out. Appreciate supporting the stream. If you're not subscribed on whatever platform you're watching, please subscribe. Check out my backlog of stuff. I've got like so much stuff out there now. It's crazy. And it just gets lost because the streams, like there's just so much content in a stream. And so the YouTube algorithm is not going to scour it and put it in people's feeds. You know what I mean? And so unfortunately there's a lot of good information in the streams, but it's kind of like you got to dig for it. And so I'm trying to find a way to re-present all the streams in a user-friendly and convenient way, because it's all just sitting there, you know. And I want to stream to Instagram too, but they don't make it easy. Greg's like, I just got here. Greg, we're wrapping it up. If you ask for something specific to play, I'll play it right now. Greg, here's your last chance. I was about to sign off, but if you ask for something interesting to play, no pressure, I might play it. Here's your last chance. See, he feels the pressure now. Greg's at home or in his car or like on his phone. Like, oh, what do I tell you? Know, this is it. Everyone's waiting on you, Greg. Everyone's waiting. Let's see. I got to get better for notifications. That's true, I guess. Although I don't really schedule this stuff. Greg's like, I got to get better notification. Here, sorry. I'm talking about the chat and I'm not showing the chat. I'm trying to get in the habit of showing the chat. See Greg at the bottom on Facebook. He's like, oh, I got to get better notifications. That's true, Greg. But I don't have this stuff scheduled. I just do it when I have time. Let's see. Adam Wilson says, I think you can organize all your videos versus stream content, put them all in one place. I mean, yeah, I have a vision of like one embedded player, like a website. It's like one embedded player at the top and just a list of links that are just stream chapters. Click the link, it plays it in that embedded player, and that's it. You know, something off Nefertiti. Oh man, good. Whoo! I'm not gonna play like Nefertiti drum. Are you kidding? I wouldn't dare. Like, hey guys, here's the drumming on Nefertiti. Like, I would like Nefertiti's one of my favorite jazz recordings ever. And I would never I understand the request because it's a great record. Anyone that hasn't heard Nefertiti from Miles Davis, like put your distractions away, put on the headphones and listen to Nefertiti, listen to Fall. Oh man. And just imagine those guys in a room playing that music. Oh, like that's what I love about Nefertiti is no one's really soloing on those tunes. Like Fall and Nefertiti, like it feels like no one's really soloing. They just loop this form over and over and see what happens. You know, and it's just different. It just organically morphs into this. Oh, and they're reacting on it. You can hear like Tony like switching to brushes and love it. Love Fall. Greg's like, yes, you can. Well, I mean, physically I am able to, but I just think that, you know, like I wouldn't without people here to try, you know. Anyways, but I take your point and I appreciate the compliment. So, all right, I'm hungry. It's time to get some food. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Isaac Jamba is the name of that guy I was thinking of, says John DeRiamo on YouTube. Thank you, John. Yes. Check out Isaac Jamba. He's so good. Great jazz, great Brazilian style drumming. He's got that stuff mastered, and he's like, you know, he's got great energy. You know, he's like new guy. You can tell he's really enjoying himself when he plays, which not everyone has that, and he has that. It's like a cool thing. All right, so my name's Steve Holmes. We're going to sign off. Thanks for hanging out. It's November 10th, 3:34 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you